Is Trump comparable to Nelson Mandela? Or is the comparison absurd? Perhaps you think there are controversies in the past of both figures? Welcome to today's free discourse video. Today, we're diving into a rather intriguing comparison, Donald Trump likening himself to Nelson Mandela. Yes, that's right. But is this a good comparison, or is it just political posturing? Let's consider this more closely. Firstly, who is Nelson Mandela? Nelson Mandela, often affectionately referred to as Madiba, was a prominent South African anti-apartheid revolutionary, political leader, and philanthropist who served as President of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. Mandela spent 27 years in prison for his activism against apartheid, emerging as a symbol of resistance and reconciliation in the fight against racial oppression. Now, let's address the questions at hand. Is Donald Trump's comparison to Nelson Mandela valid? And what does this comparison reveal about the wider political landscape? Trump compared himself to Nelson Mandela amidst his legal troubles, particularly after a gag order was imposed on him to prevent him from verbally abusing a judge in one of his criminal cases. Trump expressed frustration at what he perceived as an infringement on his right to free speech and likened his situation to Mandela's struggle against apartheid. Trump's declaration comparing himself to Mandela has been met with skepticism and criticism, with Mandela's grandson dismissing it as laughable and delusional. Trump's comparison comes amid legal battles and controversies, where he portrays himself as a victim of political persecution akin to Mandela's struggles against apartheid. However, many will say that Trump's situation is incomparable to Mandela's, as the latter fought for the liberation of the oppressed, while Trump faces criminal charges stemming from his own actions. The comparison also sheds light on the broader political rhetoric and self-perception of leaders. Trump's likening of himself to Mandela and Christ raises questions about ego, self-aggrandizement, and the manipulation of historical figures for personal gain. Similarly, Joe Biden's embellished anecdotes about his interactions with Mandela highlight the complexities of political storytelling and the need for authenticity in public discourse. But what do you think about this? At the Free Discourse channel, we value the views of everyone and hope that our videos help you to formulate your own opinions. So, let's think about what views the public will hold on all this. Some will dismiss Trump's comparison to Nelson Mandela outright. They would argue that Mandela, as a revered figure, dedicated his life to improving and unifying his nation, while Trump's actions have often been divisive. They would highlight the significant differences between the two, emphasizing Mandela's struggle against apartheid and his imprisonment for a noble cause, contrasting sharply with Trump's legal battles and controversies. For them, Trump's comparison appears laughable and delusional, lacking any basis in reality or shared values. Others will take a critical view, drawing comparisons between Trump and Mandela's personal lives or political legacies. They may point out flaws or controversial aspects of Mandela's life, such as his past associations or decisions. Some may argue that both figures face legal challenges, but the nature and context of these challenges differ significantly. This perspective will focus on the complexities of leadership and the nuanced realities of political figures, cautioning against idealizing or demonizing either Mandela or Trump. On the other hand, some individuals will support Trump's comparison to Mandela. They might interpret Trump's remarks as expressions of defiance against perceived injustices or as attempts to rally support from his base. Some may sympathize with Trump's portrayal of himself as a victim of political persecution, drawing parallels to Mandela's struggles. So, what do you think? I hope this free discourse video has helped you to understand this topic more clearly. If so, don't forget to like the video and consider subscribing for regular updates on the most important of world affairs.